Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something pretty specific, a deep dive into linguistic mastery.
Mm.
We're not just talking basic grammar here or, vocabulary lists. This is all about how you can take your English answers in a job interview from just, okay, functional,
Right.
to sounding genuinely fluent, persuasive, and, well, strategically impactful.
Exactly. And for those of you doing interviews in English, especially at a higher level, that gap between sounding just prepared and sounding truly professional, it often goes down to the structure and the phrasing.
Okay.
Our sources, they've really broken down 5 of the most common interview questions.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to look at exactly which words, which phrases, which ways of framing things signal that expertise and confidence. Think of this as a shortcut, maybe, to making sure your language really matches the skills you're bringing.
Yeah, we're hunting for those high impact nuggets, the rhetorical tools that let you shape the story about your value.
Hmm.
We want those transition phrases that connect ideas smoothly, the power words that signal maturity, and I guess the mindset shift you need to really impress an interviewer who's listening closely for nuance. Okay, let's get straight into it. Starting with, well, the question everyone gets. This is always the opener, isn't it? Tell me about yourself. Now, the standard answer, something like, I'm a mathematics graduate. I'm interested in teaching and tech. I like solving problems. It works. It's direct.
It's functional.
Functional, exactly. But it can sound a bit like just reading off a CV summary, maybe. Not like a professional introduction.
And the sources are really clear on this. The absolute first step is restraint. Keep it focused on your career.
Right.
It has to be about your education, your professional passions. You absolutely need to skip the personal stuff, family, marriage, hobbies, unless it's somehow directly relevant to the job itself.
Okay, so keep it professional. If that standard approach is functional, how does the, let's say, advanced fluent version actually improve on it? What does it do differently?
Well, it sounds more objective, more measured.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just saying, I am X, the advanced phrasing uses a bit of linguistic distance. It makes the claim sound more considered. Like this.
Okay.
I would describe myself as a dedicated learner who enjoys challenges. Over the last few years, I've developed strong communication and analytical skills, which I'm confident will help me in this role.
Ah, I see that straight away. Starting with, I would describe myself as, it signals you've actually thought about it, assessed yourself.
Exactly.
It's quite sophisticated framing, isn't it? Like you're offering a critical analysis, not just bragging. Makes the statement sound more, well, authoritative.
Precisely. And did you notice the transition at the end?
Uh-huh.
The phrase, which I'm confident will help me in this role. That's a key structure.
Yeah.
It doesn't just list skills, it immediately frames them as assets for this company, for this role.
Mm.
It puts a really polished professional bracket around the whole opening.
Okay, so you framed who you are professionally, then the interviewer usually pivots, right?
Yeah.
They want to test alignment, which brings us to question 2.
The why us question.
Exactly. And the standard answer is usually pretty direct again. This position matches my skills and interests. I want a role where I can apply my knowledge and help the company grow.
Which is fine. It's safe.
Yeah.
But you can definitely elevate it. The real goal here is to show you've done your homework.
More than just reading the job description.
Way more. It's about showing you connect with the company on a deeper level than just, needing a paycheck. You have to show you're bought into their direction, their purpose.
So how do you actually articulate that? How do you use language, maybe more high-level vocabulary, to get beyond just skills and interests?
You use words that show maturity and long-term thinking. For example, listen to this. I'm really inspired by the company's vision and work culture.
Okay, vision and culture.
I want to be part of a team that values innovation and continuous learning.
Yeah.
I see this role as a great opportunity to grow both personally and professionally.
Right. Using words like vision, innovation, opportunity, that feels psychologically different, doesn't it? It shifts your motivation from, I need this job, towards, I strategically choose this company because I align with your goals. You sound like you're making a considered, committed choice.
That's the core idea. It implies you see this as more than just a job. It's potentially a longer-term investment for you.
Right.
Mentioning vision signals that you're looking for stability, for purpose, not just a stepping stone. Using vocabulary strategically like this is really key to sounding like a peer, someone they want to work alongside, not just an applicant.
Okay, now here's where it gets, well, potentially a bit tricky. Why should I hire you? It's a direct challenge. You need confidence, but also, humility.
It's a balancing act.
Exactly. The basic answer often leans heavily on commitment, on being ready, because I'm passionate, I'll work hard, I learn fast, I think I can add value from day one. It's direct, focuses on effort.
And effort is good, but the advanced version shifts the focus. It moves from just effort to demonstrable impact and more strategic.
Impact. Okay.
Interviewers aren't just looking for people who work hard. They want strategic thinkers, problem solvers, people who think about optimization.
So how does the language show that strategic side without, sounding arrogant?
The trick is to introduce those process improvement ideas alongside something that grounds it. Listen to how this advanced response does it. I believe I'm a good fit because I combine strong technical understanding with a positive attitude. I don't just complete tasks. I try to improve processes and find better ways to achieve results.
Okay, that phrase, I don't just complete tasks, that's quite powerful.
It is.
And then you have those words we're looking for. Value, improve, results. But let me ask, if you're maybe earlier in your career, does saying I try to improve processes risk sounding a bit much, maybe a bit arrogant?
It's a fair question. But look at the phrasing. I believe I'm a good fit because it keeps it respectful. And I try to improve. Suggests initiative, not necessarily claiming you always succeed.
Oh.
The goal isn't to claim you're a miracle worker. It's to show a mindset of optimization. That's valuable at any level. You're signaling you think beyond just the immediate task list. You're thinking about efficiency, about outcomes. That's optimization language. And yeah, companies definitely want to hear that.
All right, on to the classic trap question. Strengths and weaknesses. Especially the weakness part, right? Handle that poorly, and it can really backfire.
Definitely.
The standard advice for the weakness is often to pick something that's secretly a positive, isn't it? Like saying, oh, I'm a perfectionist, I take extra time, but I'm learning to balance quality and speed. That honest but positive frame.
Yeah, and that can work. It's a known tactic.
Yeah.
But the advanced version, it really leans into self-awareness and, crucially, active development.
Active development.
Yes. Modern interviewers, they're really looking for evidence of a growth mindset. Are you aware of areas to improve, and what are you doing about them?
Okay, so walk us through how the language creates that feeling of improvement, that trajectory.
Well, first, for the strength. Often adaptability comes up, being able to adjust quickly. That's always valuable.
Sure.
But it's the weakness where the advanced language really makes a difference. Instead of just naming a flaw, you frame it as a challenge you're actively working on.
Ah, okay.
So maybe the challenge is public speaking. The advanced answer doesn't just say, I'm bad at public speaking. It says something like, public speaking is an area I've identified for growth, and I'm actively working on it by participating more in group discussions and seeking out presentation opportunities.
Got it. So you're using active verbs, actively working on it, maybe even the present continuous tense. That signals current effort, progress.
Exactly.
It shows you're not just passively aware of a flaw, you're proactively managing it, taking ownership.
Precisely. Interviewers really like seeing that self-directed growth. It makes the answer sound highly fluent, too, because you're discussing self-development using complex active language. It shows you're reflective and serious about getting better professionally.
Okay, the final question our sources analyzed. This is the big one, the commitment test, the loyalty test. Often phrased like, if you get another job offer with a higher salary, will you leave us?
Yeah, the money question.
The standard answer tries to show absolute loyalty, maybe almost artificially so. Not at all. Salary isn't my main driver. I value learning and growth. If I'm growing here, I won't look elsewhere.
It sounds good, maybe a little too good. It can come across as slightly insincere sometimes because, let's be honest, salary does matter.
Right.
So the advanced response is more thoughtful, wiser perhaps. It doesn't deny that salary is important. Instead, it strategically places it within a broader set of priorities. It shows a more mature approach to career planning.
Okay, so what's the language that pulls that off? How do you acknowledge salary but still sound committed, not like you're about to jump ship?
The advanced response goes something like this. Salary is important, yes, but for me, things like stability, the work environment, and the learning opportunities actually matter more in the long run.
Ah, okay. Acknowledging it first.
I believe when you work with dedication and focus on growth, the financial rewards tend to follow eventually.
That's quite brilliant framing, actually. You acknowledge the reality compensation matters, but you strategically rank it after stability, environment, learning. It shows your decision-making isn't just about the next paycheck. It's grounded in a bigger career picture.
Yeah.
That implies the long-term perspective interviewers are looking for. You're sort of negotiating based on values, not just dollars.
Exactly. It sounds much more balanced and, frankly, more believable.
So we've gone through 5 key questions, 5 advanced answer structures. But what's the big picture here? What does this mean for your next interview, no matter what question they throw at you?
Right, because you won't always get these exact 5.
Exactly. The sources actually pull it all together into 3 really crucial fluency takeaways that apply across the board.
Okay, takeaway number 1 is about authenticity. Flow. You have to speak naturally.
Not memorized.
Definitely not memorized. There's some really powerful structures, but if you just recite them like a robot,
You lose all credibility.
instantly. Authenticity is what builds that connection with the interviewer. It lets you expand naturally on your points, sound like yourself.
Okay, makes sense. Tip number 2.
The power of transition words. These are like the verbal lubricant, maybe. They stop your English sounding choppy or abrupt.
Ah, yeah. We saw those cropping up.
We did.
Yeah.
But let's explicitly list some examples the sources highlighted, using phrases like, actually, in fact, personally, I believe, from my experience, use these to connect thoughts, bridge ideas, give yourself a moment.
So they sort of signal you're organizing your thoughts.
They really do. They're like the linguistic handshake of advanced English. They buy you a second to structure what you're about to say and signal you're offering a more nuanced perspective.
Got it. And the third tip.
Tip number 3 is about nonverbal fluency, your body language. It matters just as much as your words.
Really? Even for fluency?
Absolutely. Keep eye contact. Smile appropriately. Speak clearly, project your voice. These physical cues aren't just about being polite. They reinforce the confidence your advanced language is trying to convey.
Right, if you use great words like innovation and impact, but you're sort of mumbling and looking at the floor.
The message is totally lost. The body language contradicts the words.
Okay. So to wrap up the core lesson here.
The core lesson is that fluency, true fluency in an interview context, isn't just about perfect grammar. It's about consciously using structure and vocabulary, those transition phrases, those impact words to convey maturity, strategic thinking, impact, and importantly, self-awareness in every single answer. The language you choose really does define your professional narrative in that room.
So practice is key then. We really encourage you listening to practice these structures out loud.
Yes, definitely allowed.
Don't just read them. Say them until they feel natural, until they sound like your words. That practice makes them automatic when the pressure's on. Now, we've covered 5 pretty standard, structured questions today. But here's a final thought for you to mull over as you prep. What happens when you get a question you didn't expect?
The curveball.
Exactly. A tricky behavioral question like, tell me about a time you failed. How could you apply these 3 core tips we just discussed? The transition words, the natural flow, the self-awareness framing. How could you use the language itself to demonstrate growth from that failure, turning it into a positive story about your professional development? That's something to think about.
Definitely worth considering how to apply these principles flexibly.
Well, good luck with all your preparation out there, and thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.